We now move on to the last part of the chapter, water, that is the hard and soft water. So you must have experienced many times that whenever you go out of Bombay and you go to a village somewhere, maybe Gujarat or somewhere, and you find that you take the soap and you wash your hands, and you find that kitna bhi soap lo, the soap doesn't lather, and you find that it is easier to do the same thing in Bombay with the same soap, but it was difficult when you went the other outstation. So what's that? That's basically that in Bombay, in Mumbai, the water what we are using is a soft water, whereas the water which was available in that particular place was a hard water. This could be a simple test to find out whether the water what they are using is a soft water or a hard water. So depending on the action of soap on water, natural water is divided into two types, hard water and soft water. So yes, it is just the soap, action of soap which is there, which is going to determine whether it's a hard water or soft water. So let's see what are hard water and soft water. The term water is said to be hard when it does not lather readily when with ordinary soap and hence wastes soap. So first thing is that if it is a hard water and a soft water, so we have the first thing is no lather. So soap is wasted, there is no lather. That water is said to be hard when it does not lather readily with ordinary soap, hence waste soaps. Whereas water is said to be soft when it lathers readily, so there is lather, so lathers. So that's why when it is going to lathers readily, then with ordinary soap and hence does not waste soap. Sources wise, the soft water includes rainwater and distilled water. So the pure forms of water will be rainwater and distilled water. Causes of hardness is substance that causes hardness in water are calcium and magnesium salts, calcium and magnesium bicarbonates, sulfates and chlorides. So over here this is because of presence of salts. This is pure water, or we can say not pure water but natural water. So what is present over here will be calcium and magnesium salts, and that salts could be of bicarbonates, sulfates and chlorides. So chlorides of calcium, chlorides of magnesium, yeah, sulfates of calcium, magnesium, or carbon bicarbonate or magnesium bicarbonate. These are the causes of salt. So see, it's very easy to understand if you just see a bit of geography, that rainwater is there, water falls, then water is going to go in two ways. One is in the form of stream, and other is it is going to absorb in the soil and go as a groundwater. So you can see in both the cases, if the water would have been just stagnant as it is just flowing and forming into a lake or something, then the water would be less hard. It will be like storage of the pure water or the rainwater directly stored over there, then it will be soft water. But if the water is going to be absorbed in the soil, so when it is going to pass through the soil, it is going to absorb pass through lots of minerals, and accordingly those minerals are going to be added to the water, and that if our carbonates, bicarbonates, sulfates and chlorides of calcium and magnesium, then the water will turn hard. Okay, so the presence of these salts calcium bicarbonate, magnesium bicarbonate, calcium sulfate, magnesium sulfate, calcium chloride, magnesium sulfide, chloride. These salts will definitely give rise to a hard water. Well, the sources of hard water will be natural water from the springs and the river. So this is basically rainwater. Rainwater. So here the source will be basically the presence of salt. So the source becomes natural streams and natural water. Okay. So that is nothing but the water which we are going to get by the passage of streams and rivers and springs. So this will be having maximum amount of hard water. Now the hard water can further be classified into two types. One, if I can remove the hardness easily, then it is called as temporary hard water. And if I am not able to remove the hardness easily, then it is called as permanent hard water. So you can see that this hard water can be divided. So this is ending here. So this hard water can be divided into two parts: temporary and permanent hardness. So this hard water can have two kinds of hardness: temporary hardness or permanent hardness. The one which can easily be removed, temporary hardness; one which requires special methods to remove or may be very difficult to remove is called as permanent hardness. A temporary hardness is one whose hardness can be removed by boiling. So simple method, just boil it and it gives rise to a soft water. So if a hard water turns into a soft water just by boiling, it is called as a temporary hardness. Cause of temporary hardness in water is mainly due to the presence of calcium and magnesium bicarbonate. So the bicarbonates over here gives us the temporary hardness. So this is bicarbonates. The calcium and magnesium bicarbonate will give me a temporary hardness. That means it can be easily removed by boiling. If you now remember, in the chemical reactions we had done, that when a carbonate is burned or heated, what is going to give you? It is going to give me an oxide of the metal plus carbon dioxide, right? So this is exactly what we are trying to do. What we are trying to do over here is that the rainwater containing carbon dioxide falls on the earth and combines with the limestone and magnesite, that is CaCO3 and MgCO3 layers, forming the respective soluble magnesium and calcium magnesium bicarbonate. So yeah, this is how it is going to be formed. The formation of the hard water, that is temporary one, will be when calcium carbonate and magnesium carbonate, which are present in the earth's crust, are going to combine with the water and carbon dioxide present in the atmosphere, will give you CaHCO3 or MgHCO3. Okay, so that is how a temporary hardness is formed, that is by addition. So this is bicarbonates. कैसे form हुआ? The bicarbonates are going to be formed by the carbonate present in the earth, water is falling and carbon dioxide present in the atmosphere. On the other hand, permanent hardness is one whose hardness cannot be removed easily by boiling. The cause of permanent hardness in water is mainly due to the presence of the chlorides and sulfates. So yes, chlorides and sulfates, they give rise to permanent hardness, which cannot be removed by simple boiling. Permanent hardness enters in the water when natural groundwater directly dissolves sodium, chlorides and sulfates of calcium, magnesium present in the earth's crust. So yes, it will be this way, that if I want to talk about the temporary hardness, it will be having CaHCO3 or MgHCO3 If I am talking about this one, it is MgCl2 or MgSO4, or it will be CaCl2 or CaSO4. So if the water contains any of these, it is permanent hardness. If it contains any of these, it is temporary hardness. Okay. Disadvantage of hardness of water. Hard water is unfit for laundries, unsafe for drinking, not suitable for preparing solutions, and for industrial uses since it forms a crusty boiler scale or fur in boilers. Soft water lathers easily with soap, and hence it more suitable for laundries and industry. So normally it is not advisable to use hard water, because hard water, what will happen is that whatever salts is present inside is going to form a scaling. There will be a scaling of boiler scale, जिसको बोलते हैं boiler scale, or scaling is going to be formed on the sides of the pipes and the equipments and everything, which is going to be harmful for the device. Hence, laundries and industries don't use hard water. Even if they want to use it, they will first remove the hardness and then use it. Now we talk about how the hardness can be removed. So we now see that, let's talk about firstly is the temporary hardness. So we know the temporary hardness. So first thing is temporary hardness. We know that the temporary hardness contains MgHCO3 or CaHCO3 in them. Okay, these are the two compounds which are going to be there, CaHCO3 twice and MgHCO3 twice, as the two compounds which are going to be present in this. Now we also know that when I heat this thing, what is going to happen? MgHCO3 twice on heating is going to give me as MgCO3, which will be insoluble salt, which will be coming out as a precipitate, plus water plus CO2. Similarly, CaHCO3 twice is going to on heating become CaCO3, again a precipitate, plus H2O plus CO2. So you can see that when I am heating water which is having these salts, so on heating the water, this salt present inside will turn into this, give out water and carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is going to be released in the air, water will be mixed up in the water which is there, and this will settle down as a precipitate. Hence, the water which is above is a pure water, will be a pure water without the salts. So accordingly we see that soluble calcium and magnesium bicarbonates are present in the temporary hard water. On boiling temporary hard water, the calcium and magnesium bicarbonate in water decompose to give insoluble carbonates, carbon dioxide and water. The insoluble carbonates are filtered out, carbon dioxide escapes as a gas, and the residue water is rendered soft. So is this way, by just heating the temporary water, not heating, it's completely boiling, I would say, by just boiling the hard water, temporary hard water, the hardness can be easily removed, because, and you just need to filter it out, because that filtered part mein to kya milega, that will be this precipitate of magnesium and calcium carbonate. So these are the equations for converting the temporary hard water into soft water. Okay, so converting temporary hard water into soft water, we use this method. The next is the method of removal of temporary and permanent hard water, not by boiling but by another method, and that is by using something which is called as washing soda. Okay, so permanent, so we'll just remove this first. So next is not boiling but using, so it is hardness by addition, sorry, removal of hardness by addition of washing soda. What is washing soda? It is nothing but Na2CO3, potassium carbonate. Potassium carbonate is washing soda. Now, when I take the, let's take a permanent hardness. The permanent hardness, we can take it as CaSO4, or we can also take another example where we'll take Na2CO3 and we'll take temporary hardness. We'll take CaHCO3 twice. So this is permanent, this is temporary. In both cases, it is seen that on reaction there will be a double decomposition giving you Na2SO4 plus CaCO3. You remember this CaCO3? In boiling, what we got CaCO3 was precipitate. So precipitation. Here again same thing. It will be NaHCO3 plus CaCO3. So it will be directly CaCO3 will be a precipitate. So you can see that when you add washing soda to temporary or permanent hard water, the calcium and magnesium chloride, sulfate and bicarbonates form an insoluble precipitate of calcium or magnesium carbonate. Okay, so calcium and magnesium carbonate is going to be formed, which can be filtered out easily, and hence the water becomes soft. So the remaining solution contains soluble sodium salts, which does not cause hardness in water, hence the residue water is rendered soft. So this presence of this thing is not going to make any difference to the hardness of the water, because it is soluble and is not creating any hardness to the water. Hence the water which is containing this two will remain soft. So this is how you are removing the softness, removing the hardness from temporary and permanent hard water by either using boiling method for temporary or using washing soda. This is nothing but washing soda. So we have got this experiments over here. First of all, to determine whether it is a sample is a hard water, soft water, you just take some soap and a piece of water. Procedure is a sample of water is taken in a trough and a beaker, and a piece of ordinary soap is rubbed against inside the sample. If the sample of water lathers readily, it is soft water. If it doesn't lather, then it is hard water. Next is to determine the given a sample is a hard water containing temporary or permanent hardness. So you take a sample of water, take in a beaker and boil it through that, and after boiling it, you are going to check with the soap again. If it is going to lather properly, then it was temporary hardness because it got removed with the help of boiling. And if it still doesn't lather, then it is a permanent hardness. So that is how you are going to identify using experiment. So experiment is just you take a beaker and do this. It's a very simple or easy experiment. The next is to study the advantages of using synthetic detergents over soap. So now you will always find that normal soap ke badle we use detergents. Like you must have already seen that for clothes and washing of clothes and all, you normally use detergent powder. You know, always the advertisement bhi jata hai, okay, this is Tide detergent powder. You know, that is like, they never say soap. They don't say Tide soap. They don't say Surf soap. Yeah, they call it as a detergent powder. Now, that detergent powder is slightly different than this. Now, what is the difference? Mainly is that detergent powder contains certain quantity of washing soda in it, due to which it would convert the water which is used from hard to soft, if at all it is hard. So that's why Even if you are using hard water, it will turn it soft and then wash the clothes. And if it is soft water, then it doesn't matter at all. It is just going to be used. So you can see that synthetic, ordinary, and what you are going to take is you are going to take synthetic detergent, ordinary soap, and a sample of water. A synthetic detergent is added to the first sample of hard water and rubbed slowly with hand. An ordinary piece of soap is then added to the second sample of hard water, and similarly rubbed slowly. And observation is taken. So what you have taken is 2 beakers of same water, same hard water. Okay, one you are taking some detergent and then you are taking the water and trying to lather it. Other one you are taking just normal ordinary soap and putting the water and trying to lather it. The observation will be the same. The sample of hard water lathers with synthetic detergents but not with ordinary soap. The reason being that hard water plus soap gives you scum, that is CAST, okay, that is the scum which is there, which is ordinary soap when rubbed with hard water is wasted and lather forms only after all the calcium and magnesium salts are removed as scum. So till the time the salts are not removed, you don't get any lather. Once the salts are over, it is formed into a scum, only then it will start lathering. So it is going to waste a lot of soap. Where synthetic detergents are sodium salts of sulfonic acids, and their calcium and magnesium salts are soluble in hard water and do not form scum. Hence, synthetic detergents when rubbed with hard water lather easily and hence have an advantage over ordinary soap. So that they are giving you that they have got sodium salt of sulfonic acid. So sodium salt of sulfonic acid is very much similar to the washing soda. So they are the sodium salts of sulfonic acid. And the calcium and magnesium salts, so what they are going to have is, after that when they are reacting with these things, the calcium and magnesium salts which are going to be formed, okay, over here, these calcium and magnesium salts are soluble. So that is why it is not going to give you any kind of a scum, okay. So they are soluble in hard water and do not form scum. Hence synthetic detergents when rubbed in hard water lathers easily and hence have an advantage over ordinary water. So this with this we come to the end of the chapter water. So yeah, we have completed the chapter water now, right? So we'll start with the next chapter in the next class of chemistry.